home. First of all, we'd like to thank Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, and double honors unto our elders at GMS, and shalom to all the brothers out there through the whole world preaching His word on the highways and the byways. Listen up! We are the Hebrew Israelites. Come out week after week, prophesying the downfall of America, which is aka called the daughter of Babylon, and to wake up the elect of the 1/3 of the house of Israel.
Isaiah 58 verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not.
The prophet Isaiah is telling the prophets, the guys who come out on the streets, to cry aloud. You know, do not speak with your inner voice. You know, you'll not be solved or nothing, because how are you gonna be heard if you're speaking with your inner voice? In other words, you know. And spare not. We're not sparing none of your feelings. Okay. When it comes down to here, this truth cuts like a sword. You know, so we give a damn about your feelings.
Isaiah 58 verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Our job, you know, which goes down to our works, is to show the people of Israel, which consists of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, your transgressions, and your transgressions are you're going off, you're basically going against the Most High and His laws, statutes, and commandments, what He gave you. You know, you wanna go ahead and eat your damn pork. You know, eat your damn seafood. Be homosexuals. You know, be in love with a so-called white man who's AKA the fucking devil. Okay.
Jeremiah chapter 5 verse 5. Oh, it's like y'all go to 4. Verse 3. O Lord, are not thine eyes upon the truth? Thou hast stricken them, but they have not grieved.
He's stricken who? He's stricken us. You know, his chosen people. He's stroking us. You know, by putting us on these slave ships, which goes back to the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. You know, He's stricken us. Okay, He's trying to point out the truth to us. You know, but we were stiff-necked people. You know, so He's to punish us, because the Most High power, he's not a man that He should lie. So everything that comes out of His mouth is the truth. You know, if He says that He's gonna punish us for a certain deed that we did, He will punish us, and that's what happened.
Jeremiah 5 verse 3. O Lord, are not thine eyes upon the truth? Thou hast stricken them, but they have not grieved. Thou hast consumed them, but they but they have refused to receive correction. They have made their faces harder than a rock. They have refused to return.
That's us. We are the ones who are the rebellious children. Okay, we chose to, you know, consist of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which Allah was given to Mount Sinai by our leader Moses. You know, He gave us these laws for us to follow, and what do? We broke each and every one of them, and we still do till this day. And He's stricken us. Okay.
Verse 4. Therefore I said, surely these are poor, they are foolish, for they know not the ways of the Lord, nor the judgment of their power.
And how do we find out the laws and His judgments? It's in the Word, which 2/3 of our people don't read and seek. You know, that's why they're gonna be punished. You know, for that, because we come out here every weekend, bringing out the truth according to the scriptures under the umbrella of GMS. We do that every week, and we got nobody. All these people keep on walking by. We got scoffers coming by, give us a middle finger, telling us off, all that kind of nonsense. But all those people will be remembered during that day. Okay?
Praise the Lord.
Verse 5. I will give me unto the great men, and I will speak unto them.
Who are the great men? The great men are the elect of these people on the sign here. The Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the ones who woken up to this true beauty of the scriptures. You know? That's and they say men, not women. Okay? It's men. Because only men are going to come out here on these streets prophesying the downfall of America and its wicked ways. And prophesying that these so-called Edomites, these fucking white people will go to slavery according to the scriptures.
Verse 5. I will give me unto the great men, I will speak unto them, for they know the ways of the Lord.
Because they know the way of the Lord, okay? And what's the way of the Lord, okay? Following his law, statutes, and commandments, knowing his name, you know? No follow his name and son name and staying true and diligent in his truth, you know, by seeking out the truth according to the scriptures, you know.
They have known the way of the Lord and the judgment of their power, but these have altogether broken the yoke and burst the bonds.
That's us. That's us. The elect. We've broken up the yoke, you know. When Most High comes back, Most High willing, you know, the elect of his men, you know, because I know you at the time when shit starts hitting the fan, some brothers gonna fall off, you know. Some brothers are I'm saying diligent and strong till, you know, basically, you know, because that's where the salvation lies. So we basically broke up the yoke, okay? We're free, you know what I'm saying? What I mean free is just like, you know, we know truth according to the scriptures, and we're following after, you know, the ways of the Most High, you know, because, you know, you know, I speak for myself, but, you know, when I came into this truth, you know, I gave up pork, I can't give up all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? You don't know, I don't know, I can't speak for all the brothers out there who's not, you know, who's not eating pork or seafood, all kind of abominations or whatever, you know. So once we got into this truth, we came in there 120%, you know, and it sparked something in our spirit, you know. That is the truth, you know.
Micah 3 verse 1. And I said, hear ye, pray you, and the O heads of Jacob, and you princes of the house of Israel. It is not for you to know the judgment, who hate the good and love the evil. I'll pluck out their skin from off them, and their flesh from off their bones. Who also eat the flesh of my people, and slay their skin from off of them. And I said, here, I pray you, O house of Jacob, and you princes of the house of Israel. It is not for you to know the judgment. Oh, hate the good and love the evil.
The princes of Israelites are like the governing power, you know, and the people like the so-called the kings, you know, because during the time you had certain kings, when one came on Judah, who fell off, and they didn't even know the judgments of the Most High, you know. That's why a lot of the kings and princes of you know, like once you have a certain king, like Saul, for instance, you know, the reason why he fell off is because he hearkened unto the Most High. He basically feared the people more than he feared the Most High, you know.
And that's going apart with also with our leaders at the time when Yahushua was around. He was the righteous, and the Sadducees and some of the Pharisees were wicked, man. They loved the evil and hated the good. Why? Because Yahushua was the good. Although he did say there's none good except for the Father, but he set an example, and he was perfect through it all. You know, so we magnify the truth, the Lord, man, in this wicked ass kingdom, because they can't see. All they see is this right here. So we bring them the perfect example, Yahushua, who's a black man, not a white man. You know, so they can have an image, like they said, image or image is worth 1,000 words, man. So we're giving the true image. Now they can start off from there. They can start off if they're gonna start off as a newborn baby, then it's only right to start off with the truth.
You'll get that milk before you get that steak, you know? And a lot of you people out there, you guys want a steak first, you know? If we give you that steak first hand, you're gonna throw it all up, you know? Because you know your body physically can't handle all that at one point in time. You know, you gotta start off small. You know, it's like you gotta crawl before you walk. In other words, you know. And what I mean by you crawling, you know, first you gotta know certain strongholds that some of our people, like this image right here is a lie. Okay, go into the book of the law and you know, start off by, you know, stop eating your porks. But first of all, if it's in your spirit that you could withhold, that you could hold this truth in, you know, that basically is for you, you know. Otherwise, it's not. Because a lot of you people out there, you guys love this world so much that you're not willing to give it up, you know, for salvation, you know. You love this world so that much. You love your money. You know, you love your jobs, all that kind of stuff. But when it comes down to it, all that right there will come to naught. The grinder shall cease. You know.
It says Matthew chapter 22, verse 37. And Yahushua said unto them, Thou shalt love the Lord thy power with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind.
And what is love? What is love is basically following His law, statutes, and commandments. Okay? Because that's who Yahushua died for, who was under the law. You know? So that's love right there, you know?
This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Okay?
And that's
basically talking like during the time of Israel, Judah, which considered Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Those were their neighbors, you know, were their brethren. Those were their neighbors, you know. So we have to love our brothers as we loved ourselves. But who is your brother and who is, you know, who is your family? In other words, you know, like Yahushua said in the book of Matthew. He who is my I could be getting this wrong a little bit, but he who is my brother and my mother is he who does the work of the Most High, of the Father, you know, who follows the ways of the